Good evening, everyone. Welcome to True. My name is Dominic. I am going to be guiding you through your Thursday. Wait, what day of the? Oh God, it's Wednesday. I don't know what day of the week it is. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day. So, uh, usually I teach on Thursdays, but I happen to have today off. So, here we are. I want to welcome everybody to class tonight. As you start to get into your yoga space and get settled and grounded, couple things to know before we get started. If you have a strap or something that looks like a strap, now would be a fantastic opportunity for you to go and acquire that, because we're gonna use this a little bit in our flow. I decided for tonight's theme I was going to be looking at and considering the idea of change or transformation, right? And really what that means to embody the mindset, as well as to experience that in your practice as well. So one of the metaphors you'll hear me speaking to tonight is going to be around the chrysalis and the butterfly. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful way to really easily encapsulate true transformation, right? You start off as a land insect, and then obviously you turn into something that can fly. I mean, that's the quintessential story. But I think really what the meat of that is, and why it's important to understand what transformation is. We hear that word, it's a big word, freaks us out, we want to run away. Change isn't something that we're super comfortable with, because we think about it all up holistically. Like, how are we going to get from point A to point B? And if it's too large, our mind starts and our fears start to chip away at us, take away at what we're capable of doing. However, you have to realize change doesn't always work just in one drastic cycle. Sometimes it is done in stages. It is done over time. And if you think about living up to your fullest potential, if you just think about that as a phrase, you realize that's really overwhelming and very daunting. But one of the things you might forget is, just like the caterpillar has dormant butterfly DNA waiting to be activated, greatness is dormant within you, waiting to be activated. You just have to put yourself in situations and allow yourself the opportunity to expose yourself to an environment that will put you in a position to grow, put you in a position to flourish, and hopefully allow you to change and fly and go forth and take on the world in the best way possible. And I mean, really, that's what it's about. Where you don't want to be is you don't want to be caught at the end of being stagnant, where you are rigid and hard and unwilling to change and set and stubborn in your ways. But you also don't want to think you've got it figured out and know everything that's going to happen and don't want to grow. Growth is that middle ground. That's how you transform, is by continuing to grow. So what you are today is not what you'll be tomorrow as you progress and move forward. So that's the metaphor. Those are the things you're going to hear as we talk about that in practice. We're going to take an opportunity to physically feel that out. We're going to be taking poses that create some openness and some length, and hopefully leave you with a sense of being refreshed and being strong in your body. So let's begin. Come to a comfortable seat of your choice so that we can get grounded. Crisscross applesauce, hips to heels, is always a nice, fun adventure. From there, root down into your sits bones, your pelvis, your hip bones. Make sure everything is nice and comfortable. I like to put my hands on my knees and then pull my heart through. That helps me just to sit up tall, helps me to elongate my spine, helps me to get more oxygen up and down the spine, which is always a good thing. Eyes can be comfortably looking down, or even I invite you to even close them. We're just going to take a couple cleansing breaths. So start on the inhale, fill up through the belly, the chest, all the way up to the ribs. So a nice full inhale breath. And once you reach the peak of that breath and you feel your natural respiratory pause, exhale out the mouth. And we'll take 2 more just like that. Inhale. One more. Inhale. Now keep that full breath starting from the diaphragm, pulling it all the way up into the chest and expanding out through the ribs. Use the full capacity of your lungs as best as possible. Only this time keep the mouth closed, and I want you to focus the breath out the nose. Maybe you start some ujjayi at this point just so that you could start to add that bit of constriction and get that settled breath. And as you continue focusing on the breath, allowing it to flow out the nose, allowing it to settle and calm down, I want you to keep that serenity, keep the peace and the equanimity that comes with that. And we're going to take it to the front of the mat to stand in Tadasana, mountain pose. It'll be our first pose for the night. Feet will be roughly hips distance apart so that you're nicely stacked, hips over knees, knees over ankles, etc. Lift the toes and allow the toes to melt into the mat, gripping the mat comfortably with the feet. Now, from here, think about drawing the energy in towards the midline. So imagine that you're trying to force the thighs together, but don't let them move. Now squeeze your outer glutes and lock in the lower part of your belly. Imagine pulling energy from your toes all the way up to the belly button and then draw that back towards the spine. This will lock in the lower half of your body, give you some strong, solid stability. Just like we talked about it in that metaphor, the chrysalis is a place of security and groundedness, of solidness, and that's what you should feel in the lower half of your body. Now, from the waist up, pull the arms back and press the heart forward. This will give you expansion and space through the chest, really opening you up so that you're light. Arms expand out to the side like the wings of a butterfly, giving you space reaching from fingertip to fingertip. Hands will then draw up and overhead. Extend up on an inhale breath. As you exhale, cactus your arms towards the sides and lift your heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus the arms and lift the heart. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale this time, fold, reach the hands out to the side, find your length, fingertips expand out. Energy comes from the chest through the fingertips as they glide down to meet you on the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Crown of the head reaches forward as you draw the energy of your hips back. So imagine that you're being pulled from the head through the sits bones. Now, step the left foot back. Come into this lunge, runner's lunge. Left hand is going to be on a block or can be on your fingertips. On the inhale, sweep the right hand up, take a twisted lunge. Squeeze that left thigh back, press into your right big toe. Settle into your breath, draw your left rib slightly under a bit more. Now, keep that and lower the left knee down. Keep the toes tucked. Heel toe that right foot slightly forward, just a smidge. Inhale, come up to center. Reach up. As you reach up, send your pelvis or your hips forward so that it starts to tilt down and you start to draw the stretch forward. Reach up, go up. Exhale, start to draw your tailbone down and come back to this neutral position. Your foot's still going to be slightly forward, which is okay. We needed to do that for something else. Now, I want you to release the hands, reach the left hand behind you, find your left heel, reach your right hand up, and go back. Now on your exhale, I want you to bring your right elbow towards your right knee, straighten your leg like you would for half splits. Yep. Once they touch, inhale, come back, reach back. So you might have to readjust the foot so that you can straighten the leg as you exhale. Here you are. Inhale, take it back. Long through the fingertips, reaching as if you're trying to touch the ceiling. Bring it down. So you're going from this long expansiveness to this collapsed shape, right? Bringing your body in, using your core to level you out, drawing your heel back, keeping everything activated. Inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, let that left hand find its way down. Let that right hand rest on the right thigh. Turn the left toes out. You can keep them tucked or let it go flat. You're going to keep it like a kickstand. It might help. We're going to take a modified half moon. Sweep the right leg back. Flex the right toes to activate the hamstrings. Push out through the right heel. Right hand can stay on hip or reach up for the ceiling. Your choice. Push down through the left hand for stability. Nice. Add a small back bend here by bending the right knee. Trying to kick yourself in the butt. Maybe you grab your shin, ankle, or foot along the way. Push your heart forward. Roll your right shoulder back and settle into your breath. Continue pressing into your bottom hand. Keep pushing actively into your left shin and your left hand. Slowly start to release the right leg. Hold it nice and strong. I want you to use that strength, bring that right leg all the way back to the front of your mat. As the right foot comes down, heel toe, it slightly wider than mat's distance, or maybe just right onto the edge of your mat. Lift your left knee off of the ground. Step your left foot forward and drop your hips into malasana. So we're going to touch, if you haven't noticed, we're getting into the hips. We're going to stay in the hips. We're going to work through the hips to really open up there tonight for our practice. Elbows in between the thighs. Lift the heart up. There you go. Now we're going to add some breath to movement here, just so that we can make a connection. So as you inhale, I want you to start to come up, draw your right knee towards your left elbow, and then bring it back into malasana. That's 1, and 2, and down, and 3, up, 4. There you go. Well, 3 still, I guess, and 4. And we keep moving, right? It's this elbow to the inside of the knee kind of tap. We'll do maybe, I don't know, 3 more of these till my legs get tired, or I don't want to do them any longer. And hold in malasana. Whew. Start to build a little heat. Feel the breath start to pick up. Settle everything down. Inhale, stands to rise. Reach the hands up and overhead. Exhale, find your heart center. Reground, restabilize, recenter. Lift toes, lock the feet in, squeeze the thighs together. Draw the outer hips in. Get nice and strong. Extend out from fingertips to toes. Lengthen up. As you exhale, fold, hinge at the waist. Take an inhale, half lift. As you exhale, fold, step the left foot back. Sorry, step the right foot back. Haha, just kidding. We stepped the left foot back the other time. Lower right knee down. And there you are. So, from here, wiggle those left toes slightly forward, just a smidge. Long as just enough so that you can straighten your leg. As you inhale, come up. Keep the right toes tucked. Reach up, extend up. Now on the exhale, allow the hips to sink forward. Maybe get a little out of your comfort zone here. Allow yourself to stretch. Allow yourself to grow, or maybe go somewhere differently. As you inhale, draw your tailbone down. Tailbone comes down, hands continue extending up. You're starting to stretch the psoas. And now we're going to release the right hand for the right heel. And we're going to reach the left hand back to open up. As you exhale, I want you to straighten the left leg, flex the left toes, and draw the left elbow towards knee. As you inhale, reverse. Find some fluidity. Fluidity. I can't speak. Try to make it smooth. Exhale, bring it in. There you go. I don't need to use $10 words when $5 words will do. Reach. Lengthen. Exhale. Bring it down. We'll take 2 more. Extending. Stretching. Lengthening. Notice your core has to activate as you come down to hold you steady. Otherwise, you feel like you're going to fall out of the pose. Slowly start to come back to center. As you exhale, bring that right hand onto the mat. And take that left leg, sweep it back. Flex your left toes. Find your Ardha Chandrasana, your half moon, modified. Keep pushing that leg back like you're trying to kick someone away from you. Left hand goes up or stays on your hip. Eye gaze drops down to the fingertips so that you can keep the hand active. Don't let the elbow go soft. Keep it nice and strong. If you're adding the back bend, bend the left knee. Start to kick and open. Slowly start to release the left leg. See if you can use the strength of the left leg to bring it all the way back up to the front of the mat. Come back to your lunge. Lift your right knee off the ground. Take an inhale, reach your left hand up towards the sky. Finish off with a side twist. Bring the left hand down. Step the right foot up and drop into Malasana again. Widen your stance as much as you need to so that as you drop the hips down, you can make space for the upper body. You really want to try to think about keeping the heart elevated, keeping an active core, keeping your heels down. Don't be here, be here. You might have to step out a little further to get there, which is totally fine. Nothing wrong with that. All right, this time it's right elbow inside of left knee on your inhale. Stand, knee to elbow. Bring it back to Malasana for 1 and 2 and 3. And keep it going for 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. There we go. 9, 10. Malasana, hold. Maybe you're feeling it on that right leg. I know I certainly am. So, nothing wrong with that though. It's good to feel it. Feel a little burn, feel a little bit of sensation. That's what we're doing. We're taking a trip into our body and into our minds, feeling the various sensations as we go. Take an inhale, stand all the way up. And as you do, feel the freedom of expansion, of reaching out from the ground up through the fingertips. As you exhale, cactus the arms and lift the heart. As you inhale, extend up, exhale, cactus and lift. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands the heart center. And now we're going to move into a little bit of salutation work so that now that we've started to open up the hips, get a little movement going, let's do some other things. Inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, fold. As the fingertips touch, take an inhale, lengthen the head towards the front of your mat or towards the wall in front of you or whatever's in front of you. Exhale, fold. From here, step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Come into your first plank pose. Strong and stable, hands under shoulders, arms pushing out, elbows drawing back so that you can spread through the shoulder blades. Heels pushing back, legs long, thighs engaged, belly button in, tailbone lightly down. There you go. Full, solid plank. Balanced weight should allow you to stay here for as long as you need. Slowly lower down to the knees, and then lower chest and chin. When the air is out, untuck the toes, draw the tailbone down, lift the heart, take a cobra or up dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, find your first downward facing dog of the night. Pedal out the legs, move out the hips, shake it all around. Active through your fingertips. I want you rooting down through the index finger so that it energizes the rest of the hand. So a light but active grip. Elbows rotate back so that the eye of the elbows push forward. That'll give you space to let the head hang heavy. Hips go up. Squeeze the outer glutes to draw everything in. So you're pulling energy from your toes to your belly button to create that foundation. And also from your fingertips to your heart. Head will look down, up at your belly button or at your fingertips. Three-legged dog on an inhale, right leg goes up. Bend right knee as you exhale. Once the knee is bent, reach the knee up towards the ceiling. Try to open up. Keep the shoulders level. As you exhale, draw knee in towards your nose, round. As you inhale, take it back. Exhale, knee to nose, round. Inhale, take it back. Next exhale, let it come all the way through. Drop your left heel. I like heel to heel arch alignment. You might need a wider stance depending on your body. Make adjustments, but set up for warrior two in the legs. On your inhale, left hand goes back. Right hand goes forward. We'll start with the feet. Push into the outer edges of the left foot. Push down into your right big toe. Draw your left thigh back. Draw your tailbone under. And then appreciate what it feels like to know that you're grounded and rooted in your legs. Solid and stable, nice and functioning. From here, take your lightness and expand your wings open. Reach your wingspan wide. Reach your fingertips forward and back simultaneously. Draw your heart forward and your shoulder blades down. Your gaze is soft. Your breath is stable. You can hold this. Sit a couple more breaths. Maybe take your stance wider if you need to. Find that edge. Find that growth. Look for it. It is everywhere if you just look. Right hand goes up, left hand goes down. Reverse your warrior. Extending out through the side body. Inhale comes back to center. We're going to pump our warrior. So on your inhale, straightens your right leg and your hands touch. As you exhale, drop into warrior two. Inhale. Open up. Exhale. Expanding, moving the air with the arms, creating that openness and expansiveness as you move up and down, slow and smooth. And on this next one, keep the legs straight, reach the hands up and overhead. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Another inhale breath. It's going to reach the hands back up. As you exhale, bend your left knee. Start to drop the hips low. Come into Skandasana, skater's lunge. This is another form of Malasana, a wide-legged variation. If your left heel is not down, that's fine. You can be on your left toes. No worries there. Keep your right foot engaged. Keep it active. Draw your right thigh up. Reach your left hand out in front of you for balance. If you want to take a little bit of a twist on an inhale, turn the right hand up towards the ceiling, locking that left arm near that left knee. That'll help stabilize. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Now we're going to drop the right leg and lift the hips. Inhale, come all the way up. There we are. Moving into a wide-legged forward fold. As you exhale, draw your belly button into spine to help lower you down. Control the descent. Now, from here, I want you to press down through your pinky toe to help activate and turn on your shins, and then draw your inner thighs out. Imagine that you're spreading your hips apart to give you more space and allow the head to come down nice and heavy. As you do that, it is an opportunity to create that foundation that we talked about in our metaphor, right? That area of stability that we need to feel comfortable to grow and to expand. We need to know we're not going anywhere. We need to allow time to try things, and in being stable, we're able to do that. Hands can grab the outer edges of the feet to help draw the crown of the head down even further. Keep stretching, keep reaching, keep expanding, but it's energy going out and energy coming in at the same time. Slowly start to walk the hands out in front of you. Relax the legs slightly, and just enough so that you can start to bend your left knee. And as you do, start to walk hand over hand towards the back of your mat. Beautiful. Right leg's going to stay extended. We're going to move into half moon, just like we did kneeling. Only this time we're going to do it, well, not kneeling. The easiest way to get there is to reach your left hand out. Reach for the left corner of your mat. There you go. That's part one. Now, pick up your right leg, flex your right toes, start to open up the right hip. Let it pull that right hand open too. And from here, reach your right hand up. If you want to float it, float it. Takes strength to do it, but you can. Slowly bring that right foot down as well as your heart and come into a forward fold. You can bend the knees, maybe grab opposite elbows. Find a bit of steadiness here. All right, fingertips are going to come on the mat. I want you to start to bend your right leg. Bend, bend, bend. And from here, start to unfurl, unwind, unroll, come all the way up so that you are balancing in this nice standing balancing pose. Hands can come up and overhead or come to heart center. I have my knee bent because I don't want to knock over my wife's lovely plants. But you can have your foot nice and extended. Or you can have it bent. Really activate that hip flexor. Draw the leg up. Push into your left leg even more. There you go. We're going to come off the leg in just a second. Hold your balance. Find your dristi. Get your steady. Nice. Now, start to sweep the right leg behind you. Right leg goes behind you and off to the left. So you're crossing the right leg behind you just like that. Now take your hands, reach up and overhead, grab your right wrist with your left hand, and lean to the left. Stretching through the side body. Come back, bring it back. As you exhale, keep the legs crossed. Start to fold forward. Now, you're going to feel a little contorted, so you might need to work that right foot even further to the left. Keep working it. And as you do, bring your right hand down. Get stable. Start to level out the hips and notice that you'll be in a modified side plank from here. Now, if you don't like the way this left foot feels in front of you, stack it on top of the right. Keep pushing down through the right hand. Or step it behind you, opening you up to a bit of a wild thing. If you're in side plank, step the foot behind. We're going to lower the hips down and come to a seated position. Both hands are behind you with the right foot extended. Now we're going to switch feet. So bring your sole of your right foot on the mat and extend out your left. Your right foot's going to glue to the inside of your left thigh. Reach your right hand up. On an inhale, push into your right foot. Reach your hips up. Start to turn. As you turn, you'll be in a side plank and you'll move into a one-legged plank. Step your foot back, plank pose. And yes, you should be off your mat. We are going into uncharted territory. No one likes to get off their mat. So I figured it'd be fun to get off your mat. Inhale, shift forward. Take a chaturanga, bend the arms. Inhale, take an upward facing dog. As you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Nice and steady. On an inhale, lift the left leg. As you exhale, step that left foot through. You're going to bring the right foot in about 1 foot length. Turn it out 45 for Parshvottanasana. Inhale, come up to rise. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Lift up through the heart. Grab the hands by the waist. Start to reach the heart forward. Come down about halfway and hold. Engage the core to hold you steady. Continue going down. Stretching through that back of the left leg. Really activating that hamstring. Coming into your breath, settling into that place of peace, that place of comfort. We often forget that we can be dynamic, both active and stable, but yet finding rest in between the pauses. So take this pause and do exactly that, pause. Hands come onto the hips, take an inhale, come on up. As you do, start to turn towards the front of your mat. Draw the feet back in so that they're nice and level again. From here, we're going to move into Utkatasana, or chair pose. Take an inhale, reach the hands up. Exhale, bend the knees. Sit the hips nice and low. Draw the tailbone slightly under. Maybe you sit a little bit lower. And you're going to keep lowering down and lowering down until you eventually break parallel. Keep going, keep lowering. There you are. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All the way down. Butt finds the mat. No worries there. We're going to take a little Navasana. Came down here so we can get the core right. Lift the feet. Squeeze the thighs. Hands can be here. Hands can be here. Hands can be here. Whatever you need to hold the body up. Notice that my shoulders are not on my mat. My feet are lifted. Your legs can also be extended. Just makes it harder. So this is high boat. Take an inhale breath, come down to low boat. Exhale, high boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high. Inhale, low. Exhale, high. Inhale, low. Exhale, high. Inhale, low. Exhale, high. Inhale, low. Exhale, high. Lower the feet down. Bring the hands behind you. Slowly lift the hips. Start to bring everything back forward. Come onto your toes. Reach your hands forward. On an inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Find yourself arriving back in mountain pose. Take the feet hips distance apart. Once again, we're going to set you up for a bit of crow pose, a little bit of arm balancing. Now that the core is nice and activated, give you an opportunity to work into the hands. Take an inhale, reach the hands up. As you exhale, find your malasana shape. This time, you're going to get the knees to hook behind the triceps or up into the armpits, as close as you can possibly get it. Fingertips are going to, or fingers are going to come onto the mat. Fingertips face forward. Lift your hips slightly high, high enough so that you can begin to shift your weight into your hands, because that's where you want the weight to be. Now, this might feel fearful for you. It's a lot of F's. But I want you to start to lean forward. Look out in front of you. Don't look down. Grip the mat with your fingertips. Puff up through your back. Pull your core in. And lift, 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 lift. Since you're at home, get a pillow. Put it in front of you. If you think you're going to fall, maybe you lift one foot and then the other. And then you squeeze everything towards the middle. Often what happens here in this pose is we get right here and we're like, I can't do this pose. This is not the pose. The pose requires you to trust yourself and requires you to get out of your comfort zone, to break out of your shell and to allow yourself to move towards something different. So if you're not expanding yourself in that way, maybe you take another look and say, hey, I can lean. Maybe I get a foot off the ground. That's okay. I can do that. And try again. All I ask is for you to try. Eventually you shall succeed. From playing in crow, we simply step back to plank pose. Knees, chest, chin, or take a chaturanga, your choice. Lower down. Untuck the toes, take your upward facing dog. Unwind. As you exhale, find your down dog. And let's get set up to get into the next side. On an inhale, lift the left leg. Bend left knee. Open up through the hip. There you are. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. Open. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step it through. Drop your right heel. Take an inhale, push down to rise up. Right hand goes back, left hand goes forward. Find your length. Sit a bit deeper in your warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, pump the warriors, reach straight in the front leg. Let the fingers touch. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, come on down one more time. Come on up on the inhale. Exhale, we come down. And we breathe. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, bend your right knee, find your skandasana. Flex your left toes, open up, reach your right hand forward, sweep your left hand up. Find your openness here in the pose. Notice where you feel tight. Notice where you feel free. And appreciate both for what they are, where they are. Slowly bring the left hand down. Lift the hips, start to come into a wide-legged forward fold. One more time for the other side. Will be soft and easy. If you have a headstand, you can always get in a headstand from here. Tripod particularly, bringing the hands back, drawing the head down, and then lifting the legs up. Make sure that your hands are far enough back that you're creating a triangle shape between the crown of your head and the placement of your hands. Engaging the core, extending the legs up, all of the things it takes to go up. If you went up, come down. We're all going to start to walk towards the back of our mat now. Going to bend our right knee. We're set up for half moon with the left leg. Reach your right hand towards the right corner of your mat or slightly in front of it. When you inhale, reach your body forward. Start to lift your left leg. Lift it, open it, stack left hip on top of right. Left hand stays on left hip or reaches up towards the ceiling. Half moon. Slowly start to bring that left foot down. Find your forward fold. Grab opposite wrist. Let the head hang heavy. Bend into your left knee so the sole of your left foot's facing the front of your mat. On your inhale, start to come up. Hands will be at heart center. You can keep the knee bent or have the foot extended. Either one's going to work that hip flexor, really requiring strength for you to get and hold the leg here. Push down through your grounded leg. It is your support. Don't let it bend. Strengthen it by straightening it. Reach the hands overhead as you do. Sweep your left leg behind you. Right hand grabs left wrist. Lean and stretch. Inhale brings it back to center. Your exhale folds your heart towards your thigh. Keep the legs exactly where they are. Start to wiggle that left toe further out, further out. Position the left hand, stabilize the left shoulder above the left wrist. Modified side plank. You can stack one hand on top of the other. You might have to reposition, or one leg on top of the other, I should say. Step your right foot behind you. Turn and lower your hips down. Straighten your right leg, bring your left foot onto the mat. And we're going to take that same vinyasa. Push into your right hand and your left foot. Lift your hips, lift your leg. Slowly start to rotate. Keep rotating till you're in plank pose. From here, chaturanga, urdhva mukha, adho mukha. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right foot steps through. Step the left foot in, straighten the right leg. Take an inhale, come all the way up. As you exhale, bring the hands into the heart. Hands come onto the hips, extend up through the heart. Exhale, lean the heart forward, stop halfway down, look at your big toe, pause and hold. Inhale brings you back to center. Exhale, turn towards the front of your mat. We're going to keep the distance in the legs that we have. If you have that strap I talked about earlier, now is a good time to grab it. Legs should be nice and open. We're going to play here with a little bit of bird of paradise. So we're going to try it from a wide-legged stance. So you can be facing the front of your mat. I'm turning this way for demo purposes so you can see what we're going to do. So with the legs roughly wider than hips distance, strap or belt in your right hand. Reach up on an inhale. As you exhale slowly, start to fold down. Now, the goal with this pose is to really get the left hand to bind, or the right. We're going left first. So left hand to bind behind you. So you want to get the left hand like this. Now, obviously, that may not work for all of us. So you can bend the knees to lower the hips down. That's one way to get it. You could take your strap, bring it over your back, and start to close up the distance so that you end up with something that looks kind of like that. Try to keep the strap from going down the middle of your butt. That won't help you at all. Now, this is the beginning part of the shape. This can be a lot, actually. So straighten your right leg. Come on to the ball of your left. And keep this for now. If this is where you're at, work to open up even further. If you're ready to add the balance, maybe you tap the foot and you start to stand up. Now, notice that my left leg is not extended because, well, that's super hard. So it doesn't work like that for me. But this is still the shape, right? To come out of it, you slowly come down, lower the left leg, release the bind. Oh, that's a lot. That's always good, though, to try something new. Any part of that you were able to capture, even if you just tried the pose for the first time, was a win. If you tried it and you're not nailing it, I certainly didn't, certainly won't, but the point is that you gave the effort, and rather than just gave up on what's available. And now we will take this opportunity to do the exact same thing on the left side, or the right side, or reposition it. Inhale, reach the hands up. As you exhale, fold. Widen out the stance. Strap is in your left hand. Work that right shoulder under. Drop the hips down to help you get that bind. Take the left hand behind. Grab your strap. Tighten up the hands. Try to get the hands as close together as possible. Straighten your left leg. Come onto your right toes. Close the distance between the two if it helps. And then start to stand up. Think about pulling the heart back so that left shoulder comes back. It'll help open you up even more. Draw your tailbone down. Push actively through the bottom leg. There you go. And there you are. Slowly start to unwind. Release the foot down. Let go of the strap. If you got some of that, none of that, all of that. Good job. I'm proud of you. Everyone turns to face the front of your mat if you're not already there. Reach your hands up and overhead. As you exhale slowly, start to lower down. Come onto the knees. Find a tabletop position. It's always a good place to be. We're going to start stretched out, close it out, and wrap it up. Fingertips are going to reach forward. Hips are going to stack over the knees. Finding tabletop. Reach your right hand forward. Reach your left leg back. Coming into this slightly off balance tabletop. Bend your left knee. Reach your right hand back, shin, ankle, foot. Grab it if you can. If you do, start to kick foot in the hand and expand through the heart. Really think about pushing that knee back, finding a bit of space and a little openness here in tiger pose. Slowly release that. Come on down. Back to tabletop. Maybe take a couple cat-cows here. Inhale, belly drops. Eye gaze lifts. Shoulder blades pull back. Exhale, round and curl. Exhale, round and curl. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, extend. Reach the left hand forward and the right foot back. Find your balancing tabletop. Bend your right knee. Reach back with the left hand. Kick and open up. Find your tiger pose. Slowly release. Bring the left hand down. Bring the right knee down. That's beautiful. Lower everything onto the mat. Extend the arms out like a T. Now we're just going to stretch the shoulders, but for a moment, as we lie here, appreciate our expansiveness with our wings open. Just like the butterfly we described at the beginning, we have space and we have openness. We have freedom and expansiveness. Now, we're going to add a bit of stretch here. Draw your right fingertips in towards the chest. Roll onto your left side to stretch out that left shoulder. Right leg can stay planted on top of left or step slightly behind you. Whichever one feels nice. Press the left hip into the ground. Let everything just feel nice and settled here. Slowly roll back onto your belly. Reach your right hand out. Come back to this nice, comfortable position. Left fingertip slide in. Slowly start to roll onto your right hip to stretch out that right arm. Giving you appreciate the stretch. Give your arms a break. Those plank poses, chaturangas, the pumps and the warrior, the extension. If you were really activating this entire time, your arms are tired. Slowly roll onto your belly. Reach your right hand forward so that you can come onto your right side. Draw your knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Take a moment to give yourself a little gratitude for showing up for yourself and for your practice. It's not easy to try some of these things. Sometimes they go well. Sometimes they don't go so well. Sometimes we don't try at all. But the point is we showed up and got on this mat to move around at all. And that, if you can do it every day, is a step towards the direction that you need, towards the place you want to go. What's that? Towards that larger goal you're chasing. What are you trying to do with yourself? Whatever it is, it requires you to show up. And practicing showing up consistently in one area of your life, studies have shown, will carry over to various others. So if you can show up for your mat, you can show up for other things. Slowly start to roll onto your back. As you arrive on the back of your mat, draw your knees into the chest, reach the hands around, grab the shins, pull knees into your chest. Maybe you rock and roll a little on your spine. Be gentle, be kind. I like to rotate my ankles. As you can hear, they crack and pop and do all of that, which is always nice. Squeeze, create that compression, get that grounded, get that stability, get that centeredness that comes from drawing the knees in. There's a certain level of safety and comfort that comes with these poses. Very similar to when we were in the womb and things were super comfy then. Slowly lower the feet onto the mat. Extend out your left leg and lay it down. Draw your right knee into your chest. Pavana Uttasana, Wind Liberation Pose. Squeeze. Squeeze, pull, hold. Left hand goes outside of right thigh. Take the right knee over to the left. Gentle twist. Slowly start to pull back to center. Switch out the legs, pull the left knee in, straighten out the right leg. Squeeze and flex. Left knee draws over to the right. Left hand reaches out. Find your twist. Slowly come back to center. Soles of the feet come onto your mat. Draw your shoulder blades under, hands come onto the heart. Heel toe the feet out off of the mat. Let the knees drop in. Take constructive rest. If you lost the breath along the way, find your way back home. And then with each breath, continue softening, continue relaxing, hearing constructive rest, or if you're ready, come into your final pose, your Shavasana. As you arrive here in this pose, allow yourself to release all muscular engagement. Just let the floor and let your mat support you. Give into the stability of the earth's grounding and holding space for you. And with the arms and the body light, let the breath be soft. Shavasana is one of the most important, if not the most important, yoga pose of all. It is through this that rest and recovery and rebirth all kind of take place, right? But it requires you to stop. It requires you to pay attention and focus in a way that you typically can't, because the mind is too active, too busy. So as always, if you see the thoughts running, if you see your attention start to wane, that is your awareness guiding you back to your breath, guiding you back to this moment, guiding you back to your Shavasana. With each exhale, you find yourself getting softer and softer, lighter and lighter. Knowing that the foundation for change and growth has been planted. And if it hasn't been, I invite you to do so now. Let the opportunity enter. Let your mind start to focus on what you want most. see it, feel it, sense it. And it's from that place of being able to envision it, being able to sense it, and being able to feel it that you can start to manifest it, grow it, and bring it into fruition. Continue to hang out in your Shavasana for as long as you like. I want to thank you all for taking time to practice with me, to move and to flow. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll be back Sunday for another episode. I think we got Yin, 90 minutes in the morning, so check us out. This will be on our YouTube page as a replay later. So yeah, until we meet again on the mat, with love and gratitude, namaste.